in light of Scorpio season, I want to get to the bottom of some bullshit. So, who out there, like me, is living what? Well, see, not unlike me, in the past me. Who out there is suffering because of their own bullshit, because of dishonoring yourself, not listening to yourself, going against your gut feeling, telling yourself, basically just, lying to yourself or believing other people's lies and just looking past them, judging situations. So let me tell you a little bit about myself. I know there's a lot of us out there who have suffered or are currently suffering because of all this bullshit. Because of this weight on your insides that nobody can see and you just don't know how to get rid of. It's like the age-old question. How do you get the stupid guy in your head to shut up and just let things be? So, my past, I'm 34 years old. I have 2 children. I gave birth to 3 children. The last child I gave up for adoption. That story is on my channel if you want to look. Most of my 20s was spent addicted to drugs, chasing oblivion, chasing a feeling that didn't require me to actively acknowledge what I was doing to myself and how I was living my life. When I met people, I would tell them a version of I would tell them the person I am today. That's who I would tell them about. The person I knew in my mind that I was capable of being, but was not living up to in that moment. And I can understand why we do this because we want people to accept us. And so obviously we're not going to come out the gate with, oh my God, I'm a drug addict and, I have abandonment issues and, all these other things. I have BPD and depression and, you're not going to come out the gate with that. I mean, it would be nice if people did, because then you could know where, you can have this clear picture of a person, instead of what a lot of us do is we know it's a version of ourselves that we know we are freaking capable of becoming, but we have not yet reached it. So we tell people about this version of ourselves, all the while the reality of us isn't so great. And you can trick people long enough into caring about you, but inevitably it all implodes, because the truth of who you are, people notice patterns, people realize what's going on, and there's some people who are willing to go along with your bullshit, and they will feed and enable the addictions and the negative behavior, because they are also stuck in this cycle with themselves. It has nothing to do with you. So all the friends that you make during your drug addiction, and you think you have a lot of friends because y'all are partying together every night, you're spending all this time together, but you guys are just, it's like singing Kumbaya around a crack pipe. You're trying to stifle your own sadness and everything by turning to a drug or whatever it is. It could be anything. It could be a myriad of things. So I have some steps here for you guys, some actual real life steps, because this is what I did to change my life. I went from being on probation at 28. Okay, so in about 3 years, I changed my life, you guys. I had to be patient, but it was possible. And I tell you, I went from being somebody who absolutely did not care about anything. I was sleeping around because I thought I had to. I thought I had to use my body to secure myself a place to stay, secure myself a high, secure myself something to eat, secure myself the validity that I wasn't an absolute piece of trash, that somebody was still willing to sleep with me, and that was enough to keep me going. And it's very sad to say out loud, but it was the reality of my life. I was in and out of jail constantly, and you could just tell when I went into these courtroom sessions and everything that I just did not care. And I kept blaming everybody. I kept saying to people, you're the reason that I'm this way. You're the reason I can't do this. I was holding myself back because I was making up things. It's like I was telling myself these things. It was crazy. So I have some steps of how I changed my life. But I was staying, I went from being the worst person possible to somebody that I am proud of being. Somebody that I am proud that my kids are proud of. Do you understand what a great achievement this is for? I don't think you know what a great achievement it is for me, but from somebody who grew up, who had a mother that I could not be proud of because she was a drug addict. She was never there for me. I could not, all my other friends in school, they had mothers and fathers who would support them and be there for them and show them that they cared. And I just did not have that. And so my mission as a parent, my number one mission was to become a person that my children could be proud of. And I lived in anger for a long time, and I blamed a lot of people for a long time. And I felt stuck, and I felt like I just had to keep doing these things. So the first step I want you to do is get you a little mirror. Okay, this is my mirror that I got at an antique store. It's very beautiful. I use this for shadow work. This is a lesson in shadow work right here. Because a lot of our suffering comes from our own self. A lot of our suffering comes from listening to our mind when we should be listening to our stomach, our gut. Okay? It's called the second brain for a reason. It should be called the first brain, but that's another subject. So you get you a mirror, okay? And I also want you to get you a pen and paper. That's important. Get you a pen and paper. Okay. Now, I want you to have a good long look at yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Don't try for a minute to not think anything. Don't think about who you are, who you should be. Don't insult yourself in the mirror. Just look at yourself. Examine yourself, okay? Examine yourself. Get to know yourself. Get familiar with your face. Look in your own eyes. Let your eyes, you know how kind of when you space off, or those old books where you're supposed to let your eyes the vision kind of cross together. Get real close and let your vision just kind of blur, and you'll see your inner eye, okay? So get familiar with yourself in the mirror. Now, second step, I want you to write down all of your judgments that you have against other people. So I want to give you a little example. So when I was younger, my older sister, who is 3 years older than me, she started having kids around 14 or 15. She had 3 kids by the time she was 21. She went through a lot of issues, and she wasn't a good mother. And eventually she gave up her kids for adoption. And I will tell you guys, I held such judgments over her because of that. And anybody else who had kids, didn't take care of them, let them get taken away or gave them up or whatever, things happen, and then had another kid. I had judgments about those type of people for all of my childhood. I looked at them like they were the dirt of the earth. I was so disgusted by that situation. I was like, that's never going to happen to me. Okay, so I want you to write all your judgments down like that. Get really honest with yourself. Even the ones that you're scared to admit. Those are the most important. So if you look at somebody, like if somebody's on welfare, what kind of judgments do you hold? Just write down all your judgments about whatever it is, just whatever. It doesn't matter. Get honest, get mean, just let it all out. Nobody's going to see this piece of paper but you. So you're allowed to get honest for maybe the first time in your life. Get super honest, write down your judgments. Because I promise you, those are going to be your life lessons. Okay? That is how this reality works. When you hold judgments on another person about a situation that you've never been in, that you have never experienced, that same situation, I promise you, is going to affect you somewhere in the future. So look at where those judgments stem from. Do those judgments stem from fear of repeating that mistake, from fear of how you would be perceived, from fear or from misunderstanding of how they even do it? Like, dissect your judgments, okay? Figure out what is pushing those judgments. Is it fear? Most of the time it is. Then you can reconcile those judgments and understand that you can't judge a person, because until you live that situation, you don't know how you're going to react. I promise you. So that's the second step, okay? That's a really hard step, and it may take a few days, and it may take a long time to get honest with yourself enough to really dissect your judgments, because like you guys know, with that judgment that I held, I had to go through that. I had 2 children in my early 20s. At 20 years old, I had 2 children, and they got taken from me by my husband, who I divorced from. And then later on, in my late 20s, about 28, I got pregnant again. And I was forced to make a decision that I judged people prior to making. I was forced to accept that I was a shit person on drugs. I couldn't take care of myself. It would be awful of me to bring a child into this world who was not Mark's and expect him to take care of that child like he takes care of me. That was like, and that's what brought me to this whole revelation of, you can't judge people, because that's going to be your situation soon, or somebody in your family. It's going to affect you one way or the other. Okay. Step 3, write down all the ways you dishonor yourself. Example, when are there times where you want to say no, but you let somebody's guilt, or let somebody's sob story, or like their hardships get in the way of listening to your own gut? How many times have you done that to yourself? Write down the ways that you dishonor yourself in that way. Do you do things because it's expected of you based on your societal role? Do you go to PTA meetings because it's expected of you because you're a mother? Do you, are there things that you do that you absolutely hate and that you'd rather just jump off a cliff than do, but you do it because you feel like you have to? Write down all those ways that you do that. Okay? And go over it a couple times. Let it sink in. Hey, these are the ways that I betray myself. I don't listen to myself when I feel like I shouldn't go, or when I want to say no, I say yes because I feel like I have to for some reason. I don't want to let people down. I don't want people to think I'm mean. Blah, 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 blah. Write it all down, okay? And then your next step, I want you to make a commitment to yourself. In the mirror, Jennifer, I will no longer dishonor you. I will listen to you when I have a gut feeling. I will follow my intuition. I will honor every single feeling that I feel, and I will not dissect it, and I will not try to explain it. And the people who love me will understand, and the people who don't will fall away as they should. You need to figure out your boundaries, okay? This is another step. Figure out your boundaries. There's a lot of, like what I said in the beginning, what is it that you're willing to deal with? How much bullshit are you willing to deal with and put up with and go along with? And how long are you going to let it go on before you say enough's enough? I can't do this anymore. I can't live inauthentically, going against myself. I can't go along with your lies. If you follow your gut feeling, it will never ever betray you. But you have to stop betraying yourself first. Okay, monkey brain is a thing. Monkey brain will get you in trouble every time because you have this gut feeling, right? And you're allowed to sit with it for a second. A lot of times, in the past, we had gut feelings. We had to make a split decision right there in that moment. We didn't have time to weigh the pros and cons and all this shit like that. You live or you die. Which one are you going to choose? And in that moment, you make the right decision because you're listening to your body, because your body knows what's up. Your body is of this earth. Your body is made from the same things of this earth. So you think it's not connected? Just like there is a magnetic sense in a bird's beak that tells them when to migrate intuitively. You have the same thing within you. It's all within you. You have to just stop letting it get to your mind and analyzing it. You have to stop weighing the pros and cons. You have to stop doing that stuff. Listen to your gut. Whatever feels right is right for you. I hope you guys experiment with this shadow work, and I hope it helps you. It helped me. I am now a college graduate. I have my own house, a car. I work from home. I am creative. I have tapped into a passion of mine that I'm able to spread to other people that brings them joy. And it's only going to get better. This is only the beginning. It's exciting. Don't give up on yourself and keep going. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.